والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وآله الطاهرين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه الحميد وقوله الحق: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وقضى ربك ألا تعبدوا إلا إياه وبالوالدين إحسانا. صلوات الله محمد My dear brothers and sisters, we have gathered to commemorate the passing of a father, a grandfather, and a great-grandfather. The Holy Prophet described the father as a prophet, as a Nabi for his family. So a father in his family, the family unit, he described as a Nabi. Why did he describe him in such terms? Because the role of a father was to gather the information from outside, bring it to the house, interpret it, explain it, and ensure that the people of the household abide by it. That is the role of a father. It's a role that we have diminished in today's society. It's a role that has been reduced in today's society. But I thought we'd take this opportunity to discuss the role of parents and the obligation of children towards their parents. Many of these issues you've heard many times before. Inshallah, we'll try to approach it from a slightly more modern perspective in light of some of the challenges we face in today's society. Sallallahu Muhammad wa Muhammad. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is Surah Al-Isra, ayah number 23 and 24, the two ayahs. I strongly encourage the youth to go back, to look at these ayahs, look at the translation, think about them, ponder on them, spend some time with these ayahs. They are as powerful. I always say the Quran is as relevant today as it was 1400 years ago. Please don't leave it on the shelves locked up. Engage with it. If you have a problem and you can't find an answer, open the Quran. Make the intention to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, open the Quran. And look at what ayah comes up and see if it does not guide you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is there, He's left. There's one thing we can be sure about in the Muslim community. One thing we can be absolutely confident about is this is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as revealed to the Holy Prophet. And it's been preserved for 1400 years. Till today. Everything else we can question, we can debate. Whether it's with non-Muslims or Muslims. We can debate this, Namaz should be this way, we should be doing this. We can debate this. But this is one thing, there is consensus, there is ijma amongst the Muslims. And increasingly there is ijma amongst the non-Muslims. That the word of Allah that was revealed on the Holy Prophet is the word that has reached us today. We are now finding manuscripts dating to that time. From the time of the Holy Prophet. No other religion can claim that we have manuscripts from that time. This is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Engage with it. Engage with it, my dear brothers and sisters. So, Surah Al-Isra, Surah number 17, ayahs number 23 and 24. Please go off afterwards. Do look at these ayahs of the Holy Quran. Ponder on them. They are full of wisdom. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I have commanded Allah. Rabbuka, your Lord has commanded, Allah ta'budu illa iyyah, worship none but Him. Now there's wisdom in how the Arabic language, and it's unfortunate we're not familiar with the language. Waqada means it's been destined. There's no ifs, no buts, it's going to happen. Okay? It's going to happen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have used many words here, but He chose this word, and the Mufassirs tell us quite categorically, this word indicates that this will happen, there will be no doubt. What? That you will worship none but Allah. Okay? The question that comes straight to our minds, and we have no problems in our faith questioning what we hear. Okay? We need to engage with it, that's how we'll become stronger in faith. First question that comes to mind, well, hold on a minute, there are people out there that don't worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So how could Allah have destined this? How could He have commanded it? How could He have made this an imperative? The answer, of course, as always, comes from the Holy Ahl Bayt. Imam Raza alayhi salam. When he was asked this question, he says, the answer is that there is neither free will nor compulsion. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not compelled you. He's not forced you. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills will command something, He makes it wajib on you. Then it's up to you to make the intention to do it. And if it's a good act, He will support you, He will aid you. You make the intention. Even if it's a difficult challenge, you make the intention and He will support you. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made a prohibition, stopped you, said this is haram for you, then you make the intention to do the haram, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will leave you to do the haram. So that is qada. That is qada. Okay? That is a command of Allah. He said this is wajib, do it. But you have to make the intention, then He will support you. This is haram, don't do it. But you make the intention, then He leads you to make the act. Forget everything else, forget all the other debates, forget all the other discussions, they're all irrelevant. The one fundamental discussion, the one fundamental belief in coming to the fold of Islam is Tawheed. Okay? It's Tawheed. It's sad, when I look at it with my own eyes, it's sad how we divide each other. Whether in one mosque, in one city, one town, there are multiple mosques, he is so and so, he is so and so. Once you come into the fold of Islam, once you come into the fold of Tawheed, you're a Muslim. You're a Muslim at that point. You're welcomed into the fold of Tawheed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, He links this. He says, وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. So it links with Tawheed, doing goodness to your parents. Ihsan to your parents. Why? Which is the topic of today. Why? Why is so important? I'm going to offer a number of explanations, each equally as important as the other. First, it is the command of Allah. That should be sufficient for us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded, He says, believe in me, there is no God, don't worship anyone else, and be kind to your parents. But of course, there's always a hikmah. The question I always get is why? And if you can't provide the why answer, then people just, it's not relevant today. Okay. Well, there is great relevance. Alama Tabatabai in Tafsir, again, it's available in English. Those want to look it up afterwards. It's called Tafsir Al-Mizan. It's online, it's in English. The English translation is available, not for all of it, for some of it. Wonderful Mufassir. He passed away a few years ago in Iran. Wonderful Mufassir. Strongly encourage you. If anyone's interested in the Quran, really look it up. They've created a website with the tafsir and the translation of the tafsir on there. And he spends a considerable amount of time discussing this. Okay, so if you want to get, again, for the youth, I strongly encourage all the youth to go off to research this yourself after the lecture. I can only give you a snippet. I really got a small limited time to give you some ideas. Your job is then to go off and think about these ideas. Okay, so what is this command of Allah? Allah then goes into a detailed discussion on this topic. Why ihsan towards the parents? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created a certain system. He's created a biological system. He's put us on this earth. Brother Asad was reciting Surah Yasin. Towards the end of Surah Yasin, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if I wanted something, I would will it, and it would be. Right? It would be. Just like that. Before the irada even came, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, na'udzubillah, we have to think of it in those terms, but na'udzubillah, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't even need to think about something. He intends, and it will be. So why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala create this great system, where we have a mother and a father, they give birth to a child, and that child is reared by both the mother and the father. That's biological, that system is for us to learn. It's for us to understand. Man arafa nafsa faqad arafa rabbah. Famously, Imam Ali said, if you understand yourself, you will understand your Lord. Your Lord has put you on this earth so that you understand Him. And the starting point is understanding yourself. He has put you in this society, He has put you in this biological setup where the mother and the father, when they come together, then there's a child. And the loving mothers and fathers, I know we get the headlines. We get lots of headlines that say, oh, these parents have done this mother has done this father has done this. That may be the 1% in our society. The 99% of parents are striving to protect their children, they're striving to rear their children, are striving to look after their children and make sure that they have a better life, whether they are Muslim or non-Muslim. If you go to America, it is the expectation of every parent that their children will have a better life. It's the same expectation in this country. Okay, the politicians campaign on this, that your children will have a better life if you vote for us. Yes? So this is an expectation that we have in a society. The expectation is that our children will have a better life. 99% of parents, that's what they want. There is a biological, innate creation within us. And I've seen the transformation of young men who are so selfish, or young women that are so selfish. The moment they have a child, something changes in them. Now today science says, oh, it's biological, it's hormones, it's this, it's that. But the 1400 years ago is the fitrah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created in us. Parting from his sons one after the other, parting from his brothers one after the other. I recited the departure of one of his sons, Ali Akbar. I wanted the full departure. But he said when Ali Akbar had mounted the horse, was proceeding towards the battle, he could hear someone following him. Ali Akbar turned, and he could see his father falling and stumbling behind him. Ali Akbar turned his horse back. He said, oh Baba, you have given me permission for jihad after great difficulty. He said, go to Pupi, go to your mother. You gave me permission. He said that was the parting of the Imam. This is the parting of a father seeing his youth go to the battle. There was another point, my dear brothers and sisters. That was the parting of a father sending his son. It's not the fitrah of a human being to send his son to his death. Can you imagine the great sacrifice that Imam had to do? Not one, but all, everything that he had, all the male children, all the male brothers, all companions, he sent them all off. It is said, before the time of Asr, my Mawla returned. He came, he woke up the Mubarak Karbala. My Mawla Sajjad had been passing. I'd been very ill that day. He'd been coming out of consciousness, going to sleep. When he was suddenly woken, he looked up, he could see his puppy. And next to his puppy, he saw an old man covered with blood. He'd been carrying the bodies from the morning till the time of his own death. He said, Mawla Sajjad rubbed his eyes, looked up. It took him some time to recognize his father. He said, oh Baba, where is Abbas? Where is Ali Akbar? Where is Qasim? Where are your companions? My Mawla Hussein, he said, looked at him and said, oh Sajjad, amongst the men, this is just me and you. This is the fitrah. This is the fitrah of a son. Imam Sajjad said, oh give me a staff and give me a sword. Imam Hussein asked him, oh Sajjad, what will you do with the staff and the sword? He said, I will use the staff to stand and I will use the sword to protect my father. My Mawla Hussein said, oh Sajjad, Ashura is your day of rest. Oh Sajjad, rest today, for tomorrow you are going to Kufa and then on to Sham. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.